Howdy legends, Zephyr here, back for another Apex Legends video. Teams are clamoring to game LP in the new rank system, and players like Sweet Dreams have shown you don't even need to deal damage to reach Apex Predator. But say you do want to actually do some damage in your ranked games this season. What are the best weapons for you to use? We sat down with our ALGS Pro and Challenger Circuit experts to cook up some of the best weapon combinations this season. But first, do you want 11,500 Apex coins to spend on the new season? We're giving one lucky ProGuides subscriber Apex coins every 4 weeks this season. All you have to do is like this video and subscribe to the ProGuides Apex Legends channel. Then, click on the link in the description and sign up to ProGuides.com, subscribing for $7.99 a month. And then, comment your ProGuides username in the comment section down below. We'll announce the winner at the end of the month. Respawn have chosen yet again not to nerf the Nemesis, so you might as well continue to abuse it. Nemesis takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you really get to grips with it, it feels like a care package weapon. The thing that needs adjusting to is the fire rate and the burst fire. The weapon feels like the Hemlock or the Prowler, and sometimes players accidentally slip into burst brain. But the Nemesis is actually a fully automatic weapon, and the rate at which it fires its burst increases over time. That can send its DPS from 180 all the way up to 196, far higher than the Flatline or the R301. Even the turbocharged Havoc has a lower DPS than the Nemesis. Once you really get fully locked in with this quirk, the Nemesis is insane. It does struggle a little bit at longer ranges because of the spread on the bursts, so we suggest using the Nemesis mostly at mid-range, but even at close range, it can pack a punch. The Nemesis is pretty ammo hungry, and the fast fire rate can really encourage you to shoot, so make sure you carry enough in your backpack so you always have the power of the Nemesis available. Now, while the Nemesis does have decent close range ability, mostly thanks to the damage contained in a single burst, it is best paired with a really deadly close range weapon. Now, we aren't going for a shotgun here, just in case you do run out of Nemesis ammo. Step forward, the R99. The R99 has a little bit of mid-range potential, but it excels at close range. Whip a good laser sight onto the R9 and you have the best close quarters weapon in the game. Even the 1 bullet per magazine nerf hasn't knocked it off of the top spot this season. It's just that good. Make sure you're really utilizing the R99's hipfire. Since the laser sights were added, using the R99 in this way has become way more powerful. So if you're still in the habit of aiming down sights in close range, don't. The R99 and some other SMGs have become so good that they can compete with shotguns. Of course, if you're ballistic, you can carry a shotgun as well. To recap, the Nemesis is just plain silly. Abuse it. Plus, you can carry lots of energy ammo to make sure that you don't run out. And find a laser sight for the R99 to win your close quarters duels. Honestly, it's getting kind of boring discussing the Flatline. Arguably the second best weapon in the game behind the Nemesis, it would be remiss not to include it. Many players might find the Flatline a fair bit easier to handle than the Nemesis because it is just straight up an auto weapon, so there's no burst to contend with. It does, however, have some noticeable recoil, so make sure you jump into the range and learn how to control it if you're not already familiar with it. At one point, the Flatline was nuts at mid and close range. Now, since the hipfire nerf last season, the Flatline isn't quite up to scratch at close range, and it's not terrible, but you do need something paired with it to really give you a little bit more in those 1v1 situations. That's why we're pairing the Flatline with the EVA 8. Now, the EVA 8 is pretty overlooked as a shotgun. Partly because it was in the crafter for a while, and partly because it was so broken at one stage that now it feels trash in comparison. However, the EVA is still a strong pick. The fast fire rate is more forgiving, and it suits tracking aim better than flicking aim. You can use it from the hip super easily, which gives you that extra movement and field of view. It's a strong way to take close range fights, but it is also more forgiving than a Peacekeeper or a Mastiff, so don't sleep on the EVA. You do, however, need a shotgun bolt for this weapon to feel strong. The lower damage means you can't really one-pump your way out of trouble, so having a blue, purple, or gold bolt is pretty heavily required for this weapon to be successful. To recap, the Flatline deals big damage and still has okay hipfire. The EVA 8 is oppressive, but needs a shotgun bolt to really shine. And the combination suits good tracking aim. Now you might be thinking, the 30-30, what are they cooking over at ProGuides these days? Well, the recent changes to the 3030 might have finally done the trick. It's had improvements to the damage, fire rate, and had the skull piercer attached, but it's always still felt a bit finicky to use. But what has finally tipped it over the line is the most recent changes to bullet size when the repeater is fully charged. Sometimes people forget that the 3030 has the charge, which increases body damage from 42 up to 57. A fully charged skull piercer headshot does a base damage of 120 before helmets. Yes, 120 damage. Even with the gold helmet, that is 79 damage in one shot. And now, fully charging makes the bullets bigger, meaning that they are easier to hit. We personally think that this is the tipping point for the repeater. It is not an easy weapon to use. It's a skill shot, and it's harder than the scout. But now it's finally worth the effort it takes to carry. Dealing huge damage in just a few shots can be a game changer. And even without the old Scully P, we're working from a base of 100 headshot damage, which is still insane. Landing one headshot and one body shot can turn a fight around, and you'll be doing it from a safe distance. If you're camping in ranked and you need to level up your Evo shield, this weapon is a great way to do that without burning all your ammo. But where the 3030 really lacks is in close quarters, so of course it needs a strong SMG with it. Again, no shotgun, so you do have that close to mid-range flexibility when needed. Combining ammo types can be helpful when managing inventory, and the Prowler has great DPS. Landing one full 5-shot burst with the Prowler can deal a whopping 75 damage. That's comparable with a Peacekeeper or a Mastiff, and more than an EVA Pump. This allows the Prowler to do big damage in no time at all. Plus, with a purple laser sight equipped, the Prowler has next to no hipfire spread. It shoots nukes in a straight line. Of course, some people do find handling burst weapons to be harder than automatic ones, and we hear that all the time from players working with our range of ProGuides experts. But think of it as the same as a shotgun. You don't have to spam the bursts, you can time them. Make sure you land as many of the 15 damage shots as possible. The Prowler also has decent mid-range capabilities, which helps it stack up nicely with the 3030 and offset its major weakness. This combination is a little left field, but we think it could be a real powerful match in Season 17. To recap, the 3030 repeater can do huge damage in just a single shot. You find a skull piercer to explode your enemies, and you use the Prowler to deal big damage in close quarters. Not sure what weapons suit your favorite legends or your preferred playstyle? If only there was somewhere you could speak with pro players and Apex experts for some advice and guidance. Luckily, ProGuides has you covered. Led by Apex legends such as Snikedown, ProGuides has a range of resources to help you rank up this season. Why not book a session with one of our Apex Predator coaches? Or subscribe for $7.99 a month to access a range of resources. Don't underestimate just how much of a boost coaching can give you. Check out the link underneath the video and take the steps you need to excel in Apex Legends Season 17. And that's all for our Season 17 best weapon combinations. What weapons have you been enjoying so far this season, and will you be trying any of our loadouts? Let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Apex Legends content. Until next time, gamers.